we are back with this 50k Super High Roller feature table. And you can see it's a who's who of poker looking at that leaderboard. Our table short stack is, of course, Adrian Mateos returning. He is 2 from 2 on final tables so far this week. Imagine the other players will get the way, but look, Mateus has found ace-king in the big blind. He will also go all in. We will have a three-way all-in situation here. Stevie Chidwick will have the lead. Adrian Mateos in very bad shape with king 10 against ace king and jacks. And just as we're coming to this flop, I'm happy to say that Barney Boatman is going to jump here and join me. How are we doing, Barney?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks. Yeah, just bubbled the 1K and had 2 minutes by the pool.
Well, that's bad news for you, but good news for us as you come in this three-way all-in. Not often you see a three-way all-in in a 50k. And we see Mateus has flopped to the best hand. Well, Mateus is in the game. We'll need a 10. Stephen Chidwick a jack, otherwise Mateus will triple up. And it is a deuce. So Mateus triples up. Mateus departs. And he came fourth, Barney, in both the 25Ks the last 2 days, but the 50K, maybe not his buying number.
Seems ready to collect some German bounties.
I apologise to everybody listening for asking lots of stupid questions, because I just sat down. I don't know who's got what stacks or whatever. I know it's coming up on the graphics, but it's going to take me 5 minutes to learn everyone's names.
To help argue with the floor.
Well, there is your man, Dominic Nietzsche. He's defending with ace-4 suited.
He's the best in the world at that. We need you on our side to argue with the floor.
Scott, no.
Have you been privy to the breaking order discussion? Yeah, I was told they would. So first, what they said was they decided the TV order and then decided the breaking order based on the TV table after that, which is not fair. They said they were going to randomly draw for it, but.
So the flop, pretty good one for Stefan. Pair and a flush draw. Mateus with an open ender. Dominic, the only one to really miss this flop. And Mateus does decide to bet. Stefan did check to him. And pretty cool clear Barney here. If you have checked this flop, I guess he's just doing it to check call.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much he's afraid of seeing on the turn.
Not being cheated on my breaks, you know.
Yeah. That was exhausting.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah, that was
exactly a jack in your opponent's hand is the most dangerous thing.
You might not want to talk about that.
Gives the most ways for them to catch up, but
he did check to check raise. Mateus is 120 bet. It's been check raised 360. This obviously designed, I guess, to put pressure on Mateus if he has a one pair kind of hand.
Well, yeah, you're going to get them to put it in with a lot of hands, and even though you might be behind on this flop with the ace nine of hearts, you don't mind getting it in.
And Mateus does call with his straight draw, so the two of them heads up to the turn.
I got to be real careful about that because I haven't been paid yet.
I think Mateus would have given up if a heart had come, and well, I mean, this is not a bad card for Stefan. I think he probably knows that he's not up against the queen. If he was in front, then he still is.
Oh, yeah, of course, although he's check raise bluffing here, he does have the best hand with pair of nines. He is burning time chips, deciding what to do here on this turn. He checks after a tank.
That breaking order is going to be decided before anything comes on the stream table, and then it'll be announced. But this happening, it's going to make it back to the way it is.
Okay.
But this now, this has been chosen as a feature table, so it has to go over high.
So what you were telling me is,
if Mateus thinks that he's just up against a flush draw, he might feel he can take it away here. But he's got to be suspicious of this check.
Right, you get check raise and then the guy checks on this board. He could easily have a full house.
Yeah, exactly. So he's taken a discreet
I'll give you a side.
line, and what do you know? He's been rewarded for it.
Improves to the straight.
I mean, Stefan, I think he has to check here, whatever. He's got some kind of showdown value. I mean, and then he's going to be faced with a decision. I mean, he already was smelling a rat even before straightening card came. It's a question now whether Matthias can get any value out of Stefan on the river.
You're right, he does indeed give up.
Well, I mean, he's not necessarily giving up by checking here, but I mean, he's certainly not going to get called by worse if he bets.
Right. It's worth noting, of course, if he were to sort of check raise this spot when Matthias, as we know, will bet it straight, that would look very, very strong.
Yeah, but Matthias is just thinking about whether he can squeeze a bit of value out of this. And,
does bet 260,000.
it's gone like quarter pot, right?
Yeah.
And Stefan trying to think, is there anything that my check raise got called by that didn't either get there or wasn't there already? And the only thing you can really think of is a smaller flush draw, which is very unlikely.
Right.
I mean, it's a horrible, it's a horrible price for him, but I think he'll probably find a fold because he's not. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He wasn't really.
I think it was more a decision of whether he wants to bluff in that spot. But he could perhaps continue his line of making out he flopped a really strong hand and maybe check raise bluff the river rather than thinking about calling there.
Well, I mean, arguably the size of the bet was designed. I mean, I don't think it was designed to reduce that because you don't want to face.
No, exactly. Yeah, it would have been a horrible spot with a straight check
yeah.
raised. Keith Tilston way out in front, still with just short of 10 million in chips. Leon Tusinek in second place. And really everyone with lots of chips except for Luke Greenwood. The Greenwoods are holding up the bottom of this table, but Luke is the only one who was actually short. Everyone else with over 40 big blinds. Pretty incredible, given that this is only a 2-day tournament.
There could be a bit of a clash here.
May 3-bet May flat. Well, it is 3-betting he's doing, Torek. We see this a lot, but this is the people's favourite hands to sort of 3-bet with. It seems King Queen blocking a lot of your opponents' continue hands.
525.
6-spin.
We can see Sam with Ace Jack, probably going nowhere here. Very big hand on the button.
This is an accident waiting to happen, isn't it?
All in.
And he just drops the hammer.
All in.
And Keith now probably regretting that 3-bet. Not folded yet.
You stop until it counts.
And yeah, Keith making reference there, of course. The shot clock runs unless players are getting a count of chips. Opponent. So it's a good way of getting a few more seconds in there.
Yeah, can you count it again, please?
You sure?
You might have got the colours wrong.
A little bit too much for him to call with King Queen. And this, against his hand, he would call. You can see it's 40%. He's already put 625,000 in the pot. But fearful of big pairs, Ace King, Ace Queen. Can't really call there. And Samal will have to take one off here. Parag, you think, with bottom pair and the backdoor flush draw?
Oh, you'd have to. Very bad form not to.
You're uninvited from a lot of home games if you start folding bottom pair.
Even thinking about it.
Turn no good for either player, although card that fits Zhao's range a little bit more than Henrik, so that's maybe why he was thinking there of perhaps taking a stab. Expect Henrik to perhaps check back here, and he does. And wow, the river a king. It gives Zhao kings up. Henrik goes behind.
But you'd imagine with the, like, one of the smart guys told me that the ante on the button should add up to 2 hands an hour onto the thing, and between that and the shot clock, it's going to change the game quite dramatically.
For sure. And Zhao does bet 395 on this river. Henrik won't be too concerned about that king, I wouldn't have thought. There aren't many kings that Zhao would have got to the river with. More concerned about perhaps an ace or a turn 2 pair against the hand like 5-8 or 9-8.
Absolutely.
A tough decision for him.
Not that tough, Jim.
That's good enough to fold. And Luke will find the bad news that he has dominated, and even worse, we know, of course, Zhao just raised folded an 8.
Well, Liam didn't know that Zhao is quite fond of a bit of larceny.
Well, he's wearing a scarf. That's always the clue.
I'm surprised. I mean, surely these scarf wearers, at some stage, somebody's going to start coming in without a scarf just to disguise their intent.
Well, a 5-6-3 flop, no good so far for Luke, but the 9 on the turn does give him a gut shot. But Jack on the river, and we lose half of our greenwoods.
I owe you time, I think, no?
You're right. Leon looks like a bad guy from a James Bond film, doesn't he?
Yeah. And you think it's too exaggerated to get any credibility.
Well, a bet of 250. Leon does have second pair.
I mean, it's quite a getter. I mean, could you imagine trying to describe him to the police? The suspect was wearing.
Mullen.
Wow! He does move all in, and Sam Greenwood instantly folds. As I thought might happen, Leon bluffs his man out of this pot and climbs up to 8.6 million in chips.
Wow.
A display of power poker there from Leon Tusenek. Again, jean-noel insta-bets 500,000. Keith can't continue, but we know Zhao will.
It's just a question of how he decides to play it.
Well,
That's a good bet.
gives his opponent a nice smile and a little bit of speech. Well, Zhao folded Queen Jack.
I prefer that.
Wow.
Yeah, much more player friendly. Sam then, queens were no good. He's going to give kings a bash.
Did I hear right that when it was heads up, that the levels went down to 15 minutes?
The levels, yep. All the Party Poker live events, they half the clock when it gets the heads up.
Good old trumper.
But here's Zhao Samao with ace king.
Oh, wow.
He's going to get himself in some trouble here against Sam Greenwood's kings. He makes a 600,000 to go. And wow, look at this. Henrik finds queens in the big blind. This spells trouble for him. We could well have a 3-way all in here.
Now, if this happened online...
Fix. And bad news for Henrik. He moves all in. Sam won't quite believe his luck. It'll take a little bit of time, I think, calling with kings to try and induce Zhao to come back into this pot. Could have a huge pot here.
That's not my clock, is it?
There's not a huge difference in the chip stacks.
No, that's not my clock.
He needs to count.
I don't need an exact count. I just want to make sure that I'm not running out of time.
Yeah, you need to start the clock.
So he's got the count. Of course, Sam does move all in. Zhao. Well.
Now he's got it. This is a bit of a decision with the ace-king, isn't it?
What a spot this is. He knows he can't be in great shape. Henrik has jammed 28 big blinds, and Sam decided to put 20 big blinds in the spot. How much can you like ace-king in this?
And Joe was taking his time about it. You know, your normal club player would have to chips in and then figure out afterwards why he shouldn't have.
I ran ace-king into kings and queens. What can you do?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
2-2.
Mind you, by the time you hear the story, you got the money in first.
Yeah. Yeah, I just jammed and they both woke up behind.
Yeah. Standard. I suppose the fact that they are getting down towards the bubble would have some effect on his
for sure.
on his thinking here.
Well, he's probably more worried that Sam has a tighter range than Henrik does, for sure. Henrik cold 4-bet jammed. Does have some bluffs in there. Sam, of course, calling off his stack after being 3-bet and 4-bet behind. Has to have a very strong hand.
Yeah, and the dwell up shouldn't really be influencing your decision here.
No, it's the range.
I mean,
the range is the range.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and these guys are way too experienced.
Mosquito.
Zhao does make the call. He covers both opponents, ace-king against kings and queens. 3-way all-in out of the 5 players at this table.
Well, I suppose if you're going to be all-in with ace-king against kings, you may as well have the queens in there building the pot.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, you see he's got 25% equity. And wow, what a flop. Ace, queen, jack, kings from first to last. Zhao flops top pair, but Henrik with second set in position to scoop this huge pot. And Sam and Zhao both do have a 10 for a gut shot straight draw. It is the 4.
Well, getting back to if this was online.
Yeah. Let's all go here. Sam in a bad shape. And it is the 10 on the river. Unbelievable. Zhao and Sam will chop up Henrik's money.
Oh my God.
Well, in fact, there was a small side pot between Henrik and Zhao that Zhao will win.
I'm sure that'll be a big consolation to Henrik.
And look at the wolf there on the rail. Famous, of course, from the big Rosvadov catch games.
Wow.
Flops a set of queens.
And if you saw that in a movie.
Yeah. It's a Casino Royale hand. Leon, wow, what a hand it is. Leon has aces, Sam 10-8, the flop 10-10-4. And somehow Leon found the check back on that flop, which may well save him a whole chunk of chips. Pretty incredible, that. The player's aggressive, Leon, checking back aces on that board. Sam.
I didn't think pot control and Leon would be mentioned in the same sentence.
Well, Sam checks it once again, and now Leon does take a stab with his aces.
How much?
The question is, what does Sam do here? Does he raise? Or does he call and give Leon another chance to bet the river? If you could see Leon's hand, he'd raise for sure. Raise he does. Looks like about 1.4 million. No, 1.6 million. A million more for Leon.
All in.
And Leon moves all in. Sam snap calls. Leon will find the bad news. And so it is Sam who looks like he will double up and become our chip leader on the as we start this final table, unless Leon hits one of these 2 aces. River 3 of hearts, and wow, Leon will be crippled here.
The check on the flop didn't stop the train crash on the turn.
Yeah, I thought that was the one thing that might save Leon, but
yeah, well.
He 3-bet jammed the turn.
Yeah. Il y a break? Il y a break?
We left last night. I haven't seen Sam Greener win 2 big pots, including a full double up against Leon. Well, there we go.
Might be a quick one.
One of our short stacks.
All in.
A little speech, might be a short one, and then all in. Now, he will be in good shape here. I think Sergio can really fold for an 8 big blind jam. I don't know why he does fold. I wouldn't advocate necessarily raising so light when they're well as taking down a 25k Super High Roller at Party Poker Live Millions Germany, which was held in King's Casino Rosvadov in the Czech Republic. It was the first event you played this year. Always a good sign of the year if you win the first event you play. And here we have this time Keith raising it up, Queen Jack suited, and Mateus all in again, this time with Ace King.
5,075,000.
And he does call. Maybe too disappointed to see Ace King. Of course, he has locked up 110,000. This could be a great start for him at this final table. If his Ace King were to hold, well, a Jack 6-3 flop with his top pair, and well, the turn seals it. The second time we've seen Keith make 3 of a kind jacks, and well, a wasteful improvement to a full house, which gives him 10,000 euros change if he wishes to register for the 100k shortly to get underway here at Casino Barcelona.
Alan.
It is now Greenwood's turn to move all his chips into the middle, 2.9 million. And well, Sergio with Ace King will be re-jamming. Sam won't like that action, but at least be happy to see he is in a flip with his pocket deuces. Jean-Noel folding Ace Jack.
Ooh, good news.
Even better news for him now, seeing an ace folded.
That's very...
He, of course, started the final as chip leader or thereabouts. Oh, 9-9-6. One club out there. Sergio can hit an Ace, King, 6 or running clubs to take this pot away from Sam. And, well, a Jack an additional out. We see Jean-Noel would have now made the best hand. But nothing he could do there. And the river a queen. So Sam Greenwood doubles up at the expense of Sergio. Everything will speed up the game.
Do I have a count?
Well, Sergio moves all in 15 big blinds from the cutoff after Sam raises up Ace Jack of diamonds. He does make the call, and for the second time, these two all in this time. Well, last time a flip, but this time Sergio with way the best of it. Ace Queen against the Ace Jack of Sam Greenwood. Sergio, of course, is the player at risk. Well, it is the turn 7 of diamonds, about as good as it gets for Sam. A 5 now will give him a chop. And the river is a king. Too many outs. Sergio then doubles back through the man he just doubled up. And action on Zhao in the small blind with 4-5. He, of course, with a lot of incentive to knock out another short stack of his stack. So he'll make the call. And well, Patrik Antonius with kings in the big blind. Easy jam for him to put Zhao to the test. Patrik does move all in, protecting Greenwood. One overcard to Scandinavian's pair. And wow, what a flop. He does flop the nut flush draw to go with his overcard.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Back in the game. Well, turn a 5. No good. He will need an ace or a diamond on this river. And this time he does make his diamond flush. So Sam will a little bit more than triple up in this pot. And it is the ace on the river. Sam Greenwood doubles up again for the 3rd time this final table. And for the 2nd time at the expense of Sergio. Get out of this one, finishing in 6th place, pardon me.
fighting, man.
Queen Jack suited the hand.
Brazilian will pick up 160,000 euros, perhaps.
40.
And it is the Frenchman's turn to move all in this time. 3.7 million the bet.
Alan?
And, well, they're laughing. He said kings have been unlucky. Let's see if that run ends here. Or will John double up?
If he had like, if he had like jacks or something, I'd be feeling good, but.
Well, John will need help. And well, Jack 5-3, 2-heart flop. Yet again, kings are up against an overcard and a flush draw at this final table. Oh, well, look at that. John's just sitting down like he's already won. He's seen enough. Well, turn of 3. Back out of his seat once more. And it is the Queen of Hearts. Jean-Noel doubling up with a flush on the river.
What's the policy? But for example, now the dealer just changed, and then she.
Well, action on Sergio. He raises up. 1.2 to play. Ace King.
Yeah, 4 stacks of blue.
12 and a half.
Oh.
12.5 million Sergio's stack. Keith with Ace Jack.
On.
Well, he moves all in. But Sergio, of course, way out in front with the Ace King. And it is a king on the river, confirming Sergio's double up. Well, Greenwood moving all in yet again. Of course, this time deeper. And he has been called by Jean-Noel. Flop Ace 4-5, Gin for Sam. And an irrelevant 8 of clubs on the river. Jean-Noel will leave us in 5th place, as is Marinella. Well, Keith will move his stack in from under the gun. It is Sergio, of course, covering Keith, so Keith will need to survive this all in, and what a great start that is. Deuce on the turn will seal the double up. And yet again, another case of other players wishing for he bust out that tiny stack. Looks like he will play. And imagine just cool, given the value of knocking out the short stack. He doesn't mind this going multi-way, but the other two do get out of the way. And Patrik is in front with Ace 5 against the Americans, Queen 4 to the flop. Well, but no, it is the 7 of hearts. Slim hope.
And if you guys want, they would try to cheat.
Well, the final table players just readjusting at the table, it looks like. So first hand of 3-handed play. And it's Sam Greenwood with Ace 7 suited on the button. He raises it up. Patrik will defend from the big blind with 10-9. And an 8-3 deuce all club flop. Patrik with the 9 of clubs. You can see they're actually a slight favourite in this pot. There's no way he can know. If Sam were to bet here, behalf of Patrik to continue. He doesn't, he checks back, and Patrik misses the turn. Sam picks up a gut shot draw to the wheel. Patrik does lead the turn with his 9 high flush draw. Hard for Sam here with no club in his hand and just ace high. He will make the call. And, well, the river, 9. Probably one of the best cards in the deck for Patrik. You never would have felt comfortable with a 9 high flush, but with top pair, he'll be fairly certain he has the best hand on this river. And, well, betting 4.5 million. I feel that would be too much for Sam to call. Obviously, Patrik not to know. He only had ace high. Would have been hoping Canadian maybe flopped a pair or turned one. I see here on the chat and My Party Poker Live, Fabio asking if the 100k already started. It has, and I believe I'll have an update for you guys on that shortly. Sam limping in here with 7-4 clubs from the small blind. Sergio raises it up with his 5-3 of diamonds from the big blind, making it 1.6 to play, putting pressure on the short stacked Greenwood. He will make the call. So a big pot this for Sam. Three-handed play not worked out so well from so far. Well, things are improving here. He flops a pair and a gut shot straight flush draw, while Sergio flops a double gut shot draw. Could be fireworks here. Pardon me, of course, Sergio flops an open-ended straight draw. A double gut shot. Sam looks like going for the lead. That's 900,000. Sergio with a decision. Sergio does indeed make the call. Heads up to the turn. These players, well, bad card for both of them. You can see 5.3 million in the pot. Sam with just 6.6 behind. Awkward stack size. Sam knows he can't really make a better hand fold. At the same time,
1.3.
he wants to build a pot with such a strong draw, and of course, prevent himself getting outdrawn when he is ahead. Not the turn card he was after. And Sergio will, of course, fold to that turn bet.
Cristian. Yo no usé ningún time ban de estos 2 días. Yo creo que sí que tengo que usar también.
So finally a bit of fortune for Greenwood in the three-handed stage. Of course, he's just delighted still to be here, having spun up from one big blind. Well, he has king 6, I'm sure he will. He and Sergio see a king 9 deuce flop. Patrik now way out in front. Sergio, of course, does have the backdoor nut flush draw. Patrik deciding how much to fire the second barrel. Fortunately for him, Sergio just has ace high. 6.2 million in the pot. And 4 million will secure the pot for Antonius. And, well, Patrik will raise his pair of sixes on this board. Sergio with a gut shot and overcard. And he does call. And wow, what a turn card for Sergio. He makes his straight, checking it over to Patrik. Worst card in the deck really for Patrik. He knows if Sergio bit and called on that flop, that 8's likely to have helped him in some way, be it with making a straight or a pair.
Okay, so dealers in the relay, it's going to be 9-handed, so make sure you have 9 seats at your table.
Perhaps deciding to fire at it once more. Deny equity in case Sergio called with just big cards. Of course, could be lining up third barrel as well if he does think Sergio has improved to a pair. Could try and make him fold it by the river. Well, Sergio does call. Of course, Patrik can hit a 9 to make a straight himself. But a 4 on the river, making this board even more dangerous for Patrik's pair of sixes. And again, he will check back here, unless he decides to try and make Sergio fold a better hand. $9.5 million in the pot. And Patrik does check. Sergio will win with his straight. Oh, looks like a change of chip lead here. Sergio jumping into the lead now.
Straight, right?
He does check his option with his ace. And the flop. Ace, 6-7, Patrik, bottom pair. And some backdoor straight chances. Sam with top pair though. And a somewhat disguised ace, as he would have raised a lot of his bigger aces pre-flop. Sam does, of course, call the flop, allowing Patrik to continue in the pot with the worst hand. Turn king changes nothing. Small concern for Patrik, perhaps, if Sam had called with just king high. action on to Greenwood. And he's going to bet 2.5 million into this 3.1 million chip pot. Finn now going into the tank. All players on a 30-second shot clock, but they do have time extension chips. Patrik will make this call. He will need an 8 or a 6 on this river. And the river, a queen. He finishes the hand with just bottom player and checks on over to Sam, who has a pot-sized bet back. Spade and club draws both missing. He's counting out a very large bet. Well, all but 25,000 chips. What to make of that? Sam has moved all but 25,000 of his chips into the middle.
How much is the bet?
Yeah, it's working.
797.
Perhaps hoping Patrik has exactly the kind of hand he does have, a 7 or a 6. With such a draw-heavy board bricking out, Patrik knows Sam wouldn't make this bet size with a king or queen. Just squarely an ace or better with this sizing. And as I earlier alluded to, Sam with a raise with some of his aces pre-flop. Patrik curious, maybe he's made 2 pair. Patrik there, may elect to fold this one. He does have some better hands to call down here with. He does make the call. What a value bet from Sam. Getting a full double up. Well, I say a full double up. He left 25,000 chips behind. Patrik Antonius calling down with just bottom pair. I think his reaction there saying, it's based on the prediction, he didn't think Sam would have an ace there. He made that call thinking 1 pair, so unlikely. Sergio raising up from the small one with Jack-4 suited. Patrik, the short stack in the big blind with 10-7. Patrik will call to see this flop. Sergio with the best hand. Well, what a flopper it is. 7, 6, 5, 2 diamonds. Sergio open, straight draw, a flush draw, and 1 overcard. Patrik with top pair. Is this going to be the end for Antonius? He does have the best hand, but only 38% equity. Sergio has checked to him, surely going for a check raise. Patrik will feel for sure he has the best hand when checked to here.
All in.
And well, Patrik does just move it all in. Sergio will, of course, have to call this with such a big draw. He does call. Patrik shows his top pair, but finds out he is not in as good a shape as he might have hoped against the jack high of Sergio. He'll need to dodge a myriad abouts if he doesn't want to become our third place finisher here in this €50,000 Super High Roller. And well, there is one of the cards. Sergio improves to a straight. Patrik, of course, can redraw, hitting a 9 that is not a diamond to make a higher straight. But it is the king of diamonds on the rivet. Sergio improves to a flush, and it is Patrik Antonius leaving us in third place. Made a big call down there against Sam Greenwood, and then lost against this huge draw. Confirmation there. Patrik, third place, winning €400,000. Won't be what he was hoping for when he came out today. Chip leader with 7 left. But it does equate to 8 times the buy-in. Welcome back, everyone, to the heads-up portion of this 50k Super High Roller. Sam against Sergio. It had to be, really, didn't it? They had 5 all-ins, I think, already between them on this final table. Only fitting that it be those two fighting it out for this title. And well, first hand, Sergio raising up the button with 4-5. Sam 7-5 off in the big blind.
Yeah.
And well, action flop to start with. Sergio flopping middle pair, not open ender. Sam middle pair and a gut shot. Both players checking the flop, turn ace of diamonds. Sam checking once more to the Spaniard. And Sergio checks back yet again and improves to a straight on the river. Sam checks once again, and surely now Sergio will, of course, be betting his straight. That's 1.2 million. It'll be hard for Sam to fold here. Sergio checking down till now. And of course, Sam does call. Sergio shows him the straight. So Sergio drawing first blood in this heads-up encounter. Sam makes the call with queen high and his straight draw. Well, he turns a pair now. Neither player will be wild about that card. Only 10, of course, makes a straight. Sam will be hoping this one goes check, check. And that is exactly how it does go. River brings backdoor diamonds into play. Sergio with the best hand, should this get to showdown. $1.5 million bet from Sam with second pair. Perhaps trying to extract some value from a hand like a jack. Almost a blocking bet. Hard for Sergio to bluff him when he bets this river. Well, Sergio will make the fold with his top pair. Nice play from Sam. So Sam pulls slightly into the lead this time, and he has king 3 on the button, but Sergio with pocket 10s in the big blind.
1-4.
Action on Sam. He raises it up 2 million from the button with 8-3 of hearts. Sergio, of course, defend his 10-9 from the big blind. 8-3-6 flop, huge flop for Sam. 8s and 3s, but Sergio with 2 overs and a gut shot. Fireworks are likely to ensue here. Sergio perhaps considering a lead out. Well, perhaps action is actually on Sam. Sergio must have checked instantly. 2.5 million the bet.
25.
Sergio, of course, will call with his gut shot and overs. Well, the turn A10. Sergio now makes top pair. Sam still has 2 pair. Sergio destined to lose a lot of money in this pot. Of course, he can win with a 10, 9, 6 or 7. So Sam has far from got this one locked up. 9 million chips in the pot. Surely will bet again with 2 pair.
Six five.
6.5 million chips the bet. Action on Sergio. First time he's seen Sam take this line pretty much in this match. With a hand as good as top pair and a gut shot. Surely won't be going anywhere. He does in fact make the call. And we had the biggest pot of our heads-up battle so far. 22 million in the middle. Sam with 18.1 behind. Sergio just 17 million behind. The all-important river. King completes the backdoor flush draw. Not a card either player will be happy to see. Sam deciding how much value he can extract from his opponent.
All in.
He goes for the maximum. All in. Enough to get Sergio out of his seat. Be very hard for Sergio to call this one with the club coming on the river. Some of Sam's 3-barrel value range will include hands that did go runner for flush. He could of course have made a straight on the turn. And 2 pairs all possible. Remember, Sam did limp in on the button at the start of this hand. Definitely a tough spot for Sergio. First time Sam has taken this line in the entire heads-up match. Sergio couldn't look more pained over this one. Piecing it all together. Burning some of those time chips, each one giving him 30 seconds more thinking time. Real knife edge spot for Sergio. And Sergio does make a good fold. But for the first time, Sam with over 2-1 chip lead now. Sam, of course, came into the final table as one of the shortest stacks, went down to that one blind. Now chip leader heads up.
2.4.
He will minimum raise, 2.4 to play. Sergio will, of course, call with his Jack-10. So yet again, these players going to the flop.
Entries and re-entries will still be open for the 12 levels. But anybody
And, well, ace 8-4, that flop all Sam.
You can have a reload at the table. Just leave.
Sergio checks it over to the pre-flop raiser.
In front of your chip stack, and we'll be coming round to pick it up and give you your chips.
That'll be the end of this hand. Sergio, having built his stack up a little bit, isn't going to want to get too involved. But
well, he is suspicious.
Has he got a read that we're not aware of?
Well, he may feel Jack High, it's still the best hand. He does have plenty of cards on the turn that would improve his hand, such as that. He does now pick up a double straight draw.
This would be funny, wouldn't it, if Sam hit 2 pair?
King or 9 would do it.
Just about the best card on the turn probably would have been the Queen of Spades for him.
Well, I fear this could be it. I mean, I think if Sam bets here, Sergio may well check jam, or check raise at least. I think this could go all in, Simon.
Really?
Sam betting 5 million. Not many hands he can do that with and then call the shove. That's what Sergio's thinking.
Attention dealers, with the satellite, we have the chip raise of the undervalued chips. Once again, chip dealers.
Sergio, Ido.
Of course, if Sergio thinks that Sam has got the 8 rather than the ace, then he's got a massive draw, hasn't he?
Well, yeah, exactly. And Sergio does make the call with this double gut shot. With a king or a 9, and it is a 10.
Now he might think that's good.
He checks it on over to Sam. Sam is still pretty confident his hand is best now. 17 million in the pot. Sergio has 14 behind. Going into the tank. Still has time chips available.
Okay, once again, dealer in the satellite.
He does move all in.
Start taking the chip raise. And the first time we come to the table to double check.
It's a tough spot for Sergio here, isn't it? If he thought that hitting a 10 or a jack might be good as well.
Well, yeah, that's it. I mean, he beats the draws still. He knows Sam isn't making this play with a queen or a 10 as well. He would check those back and get to showdown. He beats the straight and flush draws. It's certainly a tough spot for him. But Sam hasn't taken this line. Oh, he has made the call.
Sam is going to win this ace-9. What an incredible run from one big blind when there were 5 players all the way through to this heads-up with Sergio, and somehow he has spun it up to €1 million.
Well,
our winner.
Pretty incredible. Sergio, I think, a bit shell-shocked.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough spot for Sergio, isn't it? As I said on the turn, he might think the 10 or jack is also good, and walks away from the table. He's a bit frustrated. Played very, very well. Sam Greenwood is your winner of the 50k Super High Roller here in Casino Barcelona, taking home a cool €1 million.
Pretty.
Christian Scalzi, tournament director.
Pretty amazing result, that, from one big blind all the way up to €1 million. And of course, he can take 10% of that, flick it into the 100k. It's going off just next door.
Well, he's definitely in form, isn't he? If you can win a 50k high roller from one big blind, it's definitely going to feel like jumping into the 100. That was probably his first question. When's late reg finishing on the 100k?
And pretty incredible. Both the hand to knock out Sergio and Patrik, very similar. Against Patrik, he flopped a pair of aces and took exactly the same line. Patrik cooling down with bottom pair. No. Looks like we'll get to hear his thoughts from Marinella any second.
What was it like going heads up against Sergio?
She's a tough player. You know, we didn't have that much to play. We started maybe 30 blinds heads up, so a lot of it just who's going to have the best hand, and it felt like I was getting the whole couch reported to me, and it just felt like when we got to the river, I had the best hand a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So that made things easy.
Now, everyone that entered this event, such successful players, but of course everyone wants to take home the title. What does this mean to you?
No, it's nice. I've gotten second in a couple 50Ks before and I've never won, so it's nice to win. I came second to Fedor here actually a couple of years ago, so yeah, it's nice to win one.
Nice to walk away being number one, huh?
Yes, for sure. No regrets, no nothing, you know. Any hands you might have misplayed, whatever, it all worked out. So.
Awesome. I love to see that big smile on your face, and registration is open until 7:45 for the 100K. So it's a given, right, that you will be taking part in that?
Yeah, I'll be in there. I didn't get too much sleep last night because the bubble went so long, but so I might get something to eat, get some caffeine, and then I'll top in the 100K, yeah.
Sounds good. Coffee fixes everything.
Exactly, yeah.
Thanks so much. Congratulations,
no
Sam.
Problem.
There you go, our 50K Super High Roller event champion, and we will be actually continuing coverage of our 100K Super High Roller event right after this, around 6:30. Let's let Sam go get some sleep, get some coffee. We'll be back. Thank you, guys.
There is confirmation of your 50K Super High Roller result. Sam Greenwood, the champion, €1 million. Sergio Ido walking away second place with 600. Patrik Antonius third for €400,000. Keith Tilston fourth, €285,000. Jean-Noel snuck into fifth for 210, and João Simão, sixth place finisher, 160,000.
Yeah, and James done a sterling job.
I don't know. I came in today short and tired, and I just kind of was like, oh, if I can like ladder up to like fifth, I'll be happy. And then I just sort of, I don't know. When you're playing, it's hard to kind of think of like the macro, like what it means stuff. But like now it feels nice. I'm relaxed. It's good. The money's good. The trophy's good. Everything's good. It's nice. I think after I lost Ace Jack to Sergio's Ace Queen, I was left with 600K at 255, so 1.2 blinds, and then just got all in under the gun and won. And then I don't know what was the second all in after that. All in the big blind I won, and then I lost another all in and was down to like 3 blinds, and then ran that up. I don't know, just crazy that at like 2-3 separate times in the tournament I just won like 3 or 4 straight all-ins, and like it's easier to win tournaments when you do that. You know, like he's a tough player. I don't think too many of the guys who play these tournaments are heads-up specialists, so it's both of us. I think it's tough because we're playing for such high stakes at a format we usually don't play, and we need to try to figure it out on the fly. And you know, he's a smart guy and a good poker player, and we're both kind of just trying to figure it out as we go. And it's tough on both ends. Like even if I wasn't playing a good opponent, it's tough figuring them out, and then versus a good opponent, it becomes a real challenge, especially with the shot clock and without that much time to really think things through in some of the bigger parts. I've always said that I only believe in it in that other people will sometimes like play worse against you, be scared of you or whatever, but like I feel I'm playing about as, you know, I feel I'm playing relative to my A game or whatever, I'm playing about as well as I was like a year ago or whatever. But my, you know, studying and practice, I'm constantly getting better, but I don't, yeah.